At Thermal Research today, and we're going to do the installation of a 3-inch thermal exhaust system on a 2017 Challenger Hellcat. It's the same installation instructions for the regular SRT Challenger. We're going to start off by removing the stock exhaust system and installing the thermal system. The first thing we're going to do is remove the actuator motor. So we're going to come up here, and there's a passenger side and a driver's side. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put a P on the passenger side and a D on the driver's side so I can get it back on the right bank. Then I'm going to come into the electrical pigtail at the top, pinch the D-tap button on the top and pop the wiring off. And then remove all the nuts holding the actuator in place. There's a little spring inside there we need to retain for reinstallation on the thermal system. That's the spring we're going to retain right there. We're going to repeat this on the driver's side at this time. Next thing we're going to do is remove the stock tips, loosening up the 13mm band clamp and popping the tip off. We'll do that on the left side and the right side. And continuing on with the removing of the exhaust system, we're going to support each muffler and the midsection. Now for the rear hangers, we're going to come and unbolt the actual perch right from the body with another 13mm bolt. And we'll separate those hangers off the muffler once it's been removed from the car. We're going to come upstream to these hangers that were right by your actuators. Put good lubrication on the rubber. And I take a little pry bar and come in here and pop it off. At this time, the exhaust system is free hanging, and we'll come up to these 15mm nuts and loosen these clamps up. Then it's time to remove the exhaust system. We've lubricated these joints up here, and we'll take a rubber mallet, hammering back on the exhaust system, and actually also hammering forward on these mid pipes. Now we just need to remove the stock exhaust system. We're going to remove these stock hangers, disconnecting the ground strap from the stock muffler. These hangers as well have a driver's side and a passenger side. We're now going to reinstall the rear exhaust hangers back on their proper side. To install the mid pipe. So we use some WD-40 and lubricate these front pipes, allow it to slide on. And then we find the top of the exhaust system. There's welds on the muffler seams, and those go upwards towards the underbelly of the car. The 2 3/4 inch clamps that are provided get slid over the front with the nuts facing outward like the stock ones were. Slide right on, and you may need to take a rubber mallet. You're looking to bring it back up into the original spot where you've seen the original one ended. We'll tighten these nuts back up, leaving them loose enough for adjustability. Now we're going to install our actuator to the thermal exhaust system. So we have our passenger side tailpipe and our passenger actuator. We have 3 bolts, 3 crush nuts, and 6 flat washers. So we're going to start with a flat washer on the bolt through one of the holes, and then we're going to come over and we're going to line up this curvature in the spring to match the curvature in the end of the valve, so it's fitting there in place. It's going to require some rotation of the pipe under a little tension, and then another flat washer on the back side, and start the crush nut. We'll repeat that sequence 2 more times. Then tighten all 3 of them up evenly. Remembering this is a composite actuator and there's no need to over tighten it. With all 3 of them in place, you're going to repeat that same process on the driver's side tailpipe. Tailpipes, we're going to start off by putting the double end compression clamps on the back of the mufflers. We're going to bring the nuts in on the inside for maximum clearance and slide them into place. We're going to lubricate the hangers that we're going to plunge the brackets into. Tailpipe, we're going to slide it into the back bracket first. And then the front hanger. We're going to slide our clamps into place. We want it equal in front and behind the clamp, and preferably about a 1/4 inch space between the 2 pipes. We'll then snug this up with the tailpipe in place and move on to the driver's side. As well, at this time, we can come up and reconnect the electrical back into the actuator, pushing down until we feel the click. We'll repeat that on the driver's side. Now for installing the tips, the first thing we're going to do is attach that ground bracket across to the exhaust system. And then on the tips, the logo goes inbound. So you know that this is your passenger side tip. Put the clamp on the tip already with the nut, or the head of the bolt facing down, outbound. So we adjust the flange over it and just lightly tap the tip into place. We'll snug the clap into position, but leave it loose enough where we can adjust the rotation of this tip to really get it dialed in nice and clean. We'll then repeat that on the driver's side. With the tips still loose, we're going to adjust them with a level, making sure they're parallel with the ground and they're rotated into the right position. We then have to set the in and out of both tips to make sure they match. We do that by loosening the front clamps right behind the muffler and adjusting the tips until they're equal. Tighten up the whole system and clean it. Double check all your connections and your wiring harness, and you're ready to roll.